Good midnight, everyone. This is my daily vlog, episode 10, and today I'm going to be talking about racial supremacy, what people believe, and the truth of the matter. Throughout human history, people have preferred to view themselves as superior to those around them, to people from other places, to people who believed other things. And as far as race goes, that's not left out of the mix. Racial supremacy, as in the Nazi Party and white supremacists, that didn't really start until well after. Hell, it didn't even start until after the 1600s. Now, white people, they treated other people very badly throughout history. Every so-called race treated other people badly throughout history. But the real ideology, the real vulgar ideology and way of thinking as far as what the Aryan race was, it didn't begin until recent centuries because it wasn't coherent. And it's unfortunate that it has become more coherent, even if it's still full of lies and lacking in logic. But it's much easier to be born and to think that I'm better just because of how I was born, who I was born to, and in what condition I was born. It's much easier to view yourself in that way than to actually look at yourself and try to change, try to become better, because that would actually require work. White people aren't the only ones that are racial supremacists or have racial supremacists among them. Pretty much every so-called race does. But the reason why I keep on putting these quotations around race up is because race doesn't actually exist. It's just it's a societal term, not a scientific or term we can really quantify as data beyond our beliefs. We're not even as different from one another as the different breeds of dogs are. We like to think of ourselves as even maybe more different than the breeds of dogs, but we're not even that different, not even close. Facial bone structure, skin color, the melatonin in the skin, sometimes average muscle mass or average height, but some of that even has to do with what we eat in different parts of the world. But these things are so minor, and it shows us that it's not based on anything that truly exists. Any kind of racial supremacist, no matter what so-called race you're in, is doing it because they are afraid that they aren't better. They say that they're better because this and that. I was born white. I'm part of the master race. I was born black. In the cradle of civilization and closer to the home of where humanity was, so I'm obviously more spiritual. Which either of those anyone subscribes to, or the vast number of other racial supremacists out there, it's scary to think that people are different, but they're not any less valuable or more valuable. It's scary because it's hard to understand for a lot of people who don't want to think about it. It's hard to understand that people so different are equal, and people who are so different can be our neighbor and we can cooperate with them because we're afraid of that which is different. We're afraid that those who are different might do something unexpected or do something that would hurt those who we consider our people. But it's always based on fear. Racial supremacists never base anything on what actually exists. It's always based on fear, altering the numbers of statistics of what other races do what crimes and to what rate. And it's never done out of compassion. Excluding other people's livelihoods and life, their way of being from your ideology, and excluding themselves is only done because of fear. It cannot be a compassionate act when you only care about your own people, because really all of humanity is all of our own people. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we can actually sit down and talk about this more. Racial supremacy it's not as big a problem as the conflicts in religion and among political groups. no matter whether it's left, right, anarchists, geopolitical organizations, eco-political organizations, populist, libertarian. It doesn't matter. There's a lot more heat there than there is among racial supremacy, in my opinion. But there's a lot of heat everywhere where people are different, because we get attached to our ideas as sentient beings. We as humans exist very much attached to how we believe and how we want to see the world and how we see the world, how we're brought up, how we research to become a better person, how we behave in our own society and among other people. We're very much attached to all the ideas associated with these things, so that's why emotion is also very much attached. Because anytime we live in these worlds of ideas, if we don't learn to control our emotions will be as extreme as our ideas. And if somebody goes against our ideas or tries to refute our ideas, a lot of the time somebody who doesn't make an effort to be peaceful will be violent or angry or hateful towards that person just based on his or her own attachment to the ideas that they oppose. Really, I'm getting away from racial supremacy, but racial supremacy, race doesn't even exist. We're not as different, not even as different as different breeds of dog, and we have to learn that it's not an ideology from any front, from any so-called race, that benefits humanity as a whole. If we only favor our own people, our own race, our own religion, our own country, it doesn't matter, the world will never move forward. We'll be in stasis. The entire world either moves forward or nobody moves forward. It can't. One nation at a time moving forward isn't going to progress humanity in the long term. It might in the short term, focusing on one's interests, but it's not going to progress humanity in the long term because we are all interconnected through trade, through ideology, through communication, and through pure existence on this tiny planet in the middle of nowhere. And unless we help and share and love our neighbor, humanity won't get anywhere. And that's what we have to understand about racial supremacy as well. We have to stop thinking in terms of racial supremacy, period. We have to stop thinking in terms of, I was better out of the womb than them, and I don't have to work for anything because I'm just better. That is ignorance. That is foolishness, and that will destroy us if we let it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this.